two things which I like the most in devotional services. One is Shravan, that I do a lot. In a day, I can hear two to four lectures repetitively. Once lectures again and again while working. Every time earphone is there in my ears. And another is deity worship. These two things I like a lot. I mean, it is good or
Yeah, good Namata. Yeah, that is the goal of life, to like devotional service, activity of devotional service. Correct, na? Somebody may like chanting, somebody may like hearing, somebody may like reading. Yeah, so they are all good. So if it is conducive for our Krishna consciousness, it's all inside the Krishna consciousness purview only. Yeah, so they are all good. Yeah, but take care of your ears. Means hearing too much also may lead to some, because recently we had example here, one devotee, he was doing everyday service of 4 hours kirtan. So somehow now his ears are damaged. So because he has to take care now, in many years he may have to avoid kirtans. So hearing too much with those kind of earphones which are like closing the ear fully, ear block. So that is not good. It's not recommended to hear more than 40 minutes is not recommended. Okay, so one can hear on a speaker. Yeah. So as we are doing bhakti, we should take care of practical things also. Okay.
yes.
Not that, oh, just completely dependent on devotional service only. Only the Hare Krishna Mahamantra I am dependent, and everything else is not to be considered. No, we are in the material body only. So we have to consider the laws of material nature also, what they are. Okay. Hare Krishna.
Thank you.
Yeah, I think hand raise and the sequence change. Okay. Kishore Madhav.
Yeah, Prabhu. Many questions have got answered, but I have two questions.
Still,
Suppose some
okay.
person is, some person is not at all Krishna conscious throughout his life, but by some situation he is on deathbed. In the sense, doctor has given some time out to him, and then a lot of kirtanas are played, and there is a conscious attempt by him at the time of death. So he will achieve the same benefit of uh, being to Krishna's abode.
Yeah, he will
Just
attain.
because of last one.
No. He will attain that benefit which he did throughout his life. Okay. Not what is happening at the time of death. At the time of death, something is happening that is very good, but it's not sure he will attain that only. If he is hearing Krishna conscious Kirtan, he may not attain because he has not invested time during the life.
That means it has to be necessary and sufficient, both throughout life plus at the time of death. Both conditions have to be.
No. Yeah, no, yeah, not strictly. It need not be at the time of death also, he can attain. Even if it is not at the time of death, like he may die in the coma state, where he is not able to hear any kirtan, where the devotees are singing, and he is not aware also that I am dying. Still, he will go to the spiritual world if he has perfected his life in Krishna consciousness. Okay, like that. So
Okay.
at the end, playing kirtan and all is very good. Okay, to make him remember Krishna, but the destination is not dependent on that activity at the last moment. The destination depends on what he invested his consciousness throughout his life.
Okay.
Okay.
Got the answer.
Yeah. Okay. Both questions answered.
Yeah.
Okay. Deepali Mati.
Prabhu, in verse number 8.4, you mentioned that neophyte. So who is he?
Okay. Yeah, actually, I did not want to go in detail of that, Mataji. You can read that in second canto, in the chapter number 1. Yeah, second canto, chapter 1. I will send it in the WhatsApp group, the context of that. You can read it there. Okay. Basically, he is a practitioner of Bhagavad Gita also, sixth chapter it came. The two types of yogis are there. One is the Aruruksha and Yoga Rurukshu and Yoga Ruda. So the Yoga Rurukshu is one who is a beginner. That is this person, neophyte. Yoga Ruda is one who has got his heart purified. by the practice of the karma, nishkam karma, basically. Okay, so I will send you later. You can see.
Bro, till now I just knew that we have to chant and we have to hear what we chant. First time I am hearing that we should meditate also. So
Okay. So is it in positive comment or I don't know.
I want to know how to do what is that meditation?
Okay, what is the meditation? Yeah, meditation is what Prabhupada has told. Yeah, oh, he has told the meaning of the Mahamantra, O energy of Krishna. Yeah, basically we say, O Radharani, O Krishna, please engage me in your loving devotional service. Correct. So one should also think, yeah, what service I want to engage in. One can think, yeah, Prabhupada says many places, one can try to become like Mother Yashoda, one can try to become like the gopis, or one can try to become like the Subal, the Sakha. Yeah, basically one has to meditate on like which form of Krishna I want to have relationship with. Basically, sadhana process is having a relationship with God. Correct. So which form of God? Whether I want to have a relationship with Vishnu, or I want to have relationship with Dwarka Krishna, or I want to have relationship with Vraj Krishna, or some other form of Lord, Narsimha, Rama, like that. And then if one thinks, okay, I want to have relationship with Krishna in Vraja, okay, in Vraja, how I want to relate with him. So that is all part of sadhana. Okay, so when one does is reading, hearing, all that in that focus, then with that focus, he can do meditation also. Okay, the similar thoughts in the meditation also. Okay, but these all are little higher. But first, as Prabhupada has told, chant and hear, and that is not sufficient, because one doesn't meditate on where he wants to go, whom he wants to have relationship with, then what he will attain at the end of life. It's not that suddenly everything will be revealed. No, one has to practice having that relationship with Lord in his meditation, like that. Okay, so that one can attain. It's not that one will leave from here and then go there, and there also it will be same setup. Temple will be there, then morning 4:30 Mangal Aarti will be there, then after that Bhagavatam class will be there, then there will be Prasadam there in the spiritual world. So this whole same thing will not be there. And so one has to meditate on also that what service I would like to do. Okay. Hare Krishna. And one can read, obviously, you can read some books on chanting. There are many devotees in ISKCON, many Maharajas who have written. Sachinanda Swami Maharaj has written many books. Okay, so you can read those books also. They explain more. Okay. Yes, Bhakti Lila Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare
Prabhuji, it
Krishna.
may be a silly question.
No,
Uh,
no.
my question is regarding to Bharat Maharaj's life story. So he practiced his life in full Krishna consciousness. He crossed the bhava stage. Means he was in bhava stage. Means he crossed the anartha nivrutti, then nishta, ruchi, asakti, and then bhava stage. So this 2-3 shlokas, Lord said, if one has not remembered Krishna at the time of death, then he will give his remembrance to his devotee. So here we saw some contradictions, because Bharat Maharaj's next birth was deer. So वो human birth भी दे सकते थे ना?
Correct. Yes, Mataji. Yeah. So your question is that the law of last thought is getting violated here. Basically, he is not attaining what he remembered or what he practiced. And you are already at a very high state. Yeah. Actually, see, there are two things in this pastime. One is the lessons for sadhaka. That Prabhupada in his purpose focuses more. That lessons for sadhaka should not be willful neglect of the practice. Willful neglect should not be there. That is, in summary, I am telling Prabhupada's purpose. So why willfully one should not neglect his practices, and then Bharat Maharaj was distracted by the deer. We know the story. Okay, that is one part. Second part, whether he actually received a deer's body because he did some aparad, or he did something which was non-Krishna conscious. So answer is no. It was all plan of Lord actually. Okay, for him. And it is said in the deer's body, it was not like an ordinary deer. It was a deer who remembered his past life. Not every deer remembers past life. Something special is there. And then in that also he remembered God, and he was able to continue his practice of previous life, whatever he used to eat only dry grasses, whatever. And then next life he became Jada Bharat and then perfected his life. Yeah, so it is said in the deer's body also his prema had increased so many times compared to the Bharat Maharaj life. In his next life, Bharat, the deer, the prema had increased compared to the last human life. That Vishwanath Chakravarti is explained in fifth canto. Okay. So, and then Jada Bharat, it became even more prema. So, second part of the story is that this happened not because he was faulty in his practice, because at the stage of bhava, nobody will have such kind of anarthas. Generally, they don't have, very rare cases. And this example is there in Bhagavatam to make the sadhakas aware that they should not neglect their sadhana willingly, and be very cautious of whatever anarthas are there. Okay, whether external or internal. So both the ways we have to understand the story. Okay. So then we'll have complete understanding of it. Okay, more details you can read in fifth canto. Okay. Yeah.
Okay, Prabhuji, thank you.
Yeah. Yeah, Harsh Shannath Matu.
Hare Krishna. My question is related to the seventh sloka number 7, as Krishna says that one should perform his prescribed duties and also remember him. So sometimes the question comes to mind that we are performing household duties and simultaneously we are sometimes hearing lecture or taking care of parents or taking care of ourselves and simultaneously. So is it okay to means in our case, especially in my case? So sometimes I'm not able to hear properly or
Yeah, and you are hearing na properly now. Obviously, I'm not saying you're hearing from me, but I'm saying proper books we are reading. So yeah, one thing is one should have separate and exclusive time in life. One should mold his life in such a way that one can have without distraction time with Krishna. Okay, during chanting, and yeah, one can wake up early, chant, and while hearing also. It's not that all hearing need to be have with exclusive without distraction, but it may be that being in such a situation you are explaining us, one may have distractions, but at least something where we can understand from that. But obviously, there should be a time where one will have exclusive time for hearing. Okay, from the most important people in your life. You may be aspiring from somebody, or initiated then, yeah. So from Siksha Gurus, Diksha Gurus, Prabhupada, exclusive time one should give for quality hearing. Okay. Yeah. And hearing, as we discussed in the first verse also, Tat Shrinu, hearing should be from bona fide source, Guru, Sadhu, and Shastra, one who speaks from that. Okay. That kind of hearing from bona fide sources will be helpful. Okay. So one should mold his life, try to mold his life that he has exclusive time for doing devotional activities. Okay. And seeing if one really doesn't have, and Krishna sees that intention, then he'll make some arrangement also. Okay. Hare Krishna. Okay, so it's already 1:30. So actually, I have to cover. I wanted to cover till 16th verse. They are like just reading, not much explanation, because all the explanation about Yoga Mishra Bhakti. Okay, so I think then we'll continue next time. So there was question about astrology. So those who are okay to hear the answers on that question can stay back. Others, those who have their services, respective things, can continue. Okay, and I will just take that part now. Okay, and then continue next week from this chapter ahead. Okay. Okay, yes, Arunamati, yeah, you had asked that question, right? So, yeah, something about that I'll try to explain. Actually, you can tell your question again so that everybody is aware. And if they were not present, then they will hear. Yeah. Yes, Mataji.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Yes, Mataji.
Prabhuji, actually, I have read it in Bhagavad Gita. Plus, there are many places in Bhagavatam also Prabhupada has mentioned whatever is the situation of a person, he should always go to Krishna. He was always try to take shelter of Krishna. Even if, like in Bhagavad Gita also, we read three categories of people having material desire, pure devotees, and who want liberation.
Yeah.
All these should go to, if they are intelligent, real intelligent, then they should go to Krishna only and nobody else. And we read like how people still go to, who do not have Bhakti Sukriti, go to demigod worshippers. So my question basically was, because I always had faith in Prabhupada's words and I was not willing to go by the suggestions that, because I have been asked by seniors only to go to astrologer and ask if there is any remedy to mitigate some problems in my life. And then I told them, but Prabhupada has mentioned like this, so what should we do? So answer I got was, I am not a pure devotee. I am just a practitioner of pure devotee, and that is why we the lines of Prabhupada is not exactly applicable to us, and we can do whatever the astrologers suggest so that our material life become a little peaceful and it'll gonna help us in performing our devotional service. So that is a help to devotional service. So there is no harm in going and doing some demigod worship. That's what seniors told me. So I just wanted to know your opinion, like to what extent is it right? And because my heart always said, even till today, I feel if Krishna cannot give, and if Krishna doesn't want to change the situation, then let it be. And I should always try to take shelter of Krishna only. And that is, I was not able to do whatever astrologers suggested.
Okay. Yeah, actually, yeah, whatever you told in that, there are some right principles also. And some are like boundaries situation, which may not be right actually. Yeah. So yeah, generally, yeah, I just wanted to tell other devotee also, like whenever you are asking any questions, please make sure that you don't take any names if it is like heavy questions. Obviously, not that Mataji took. I'm saying in general, if you are wanting to ask any question about some personality doing something or something like that, then please don't take their names. And if it is heavy question or say about some other institute, okay, if they are doing something, like we understand from Prabhupada that he will address the philosophy, but he will not target the person. Correct. So yeah, we should also try to mold our questions in that way that we don't unnecessarily create some aparadh by speaking about some person in particular. Okay. So yeah, so as such, yeah, this question about astrology. So actually, I heard something from His Holiness Bhanu Swami Maharaj. I had heard a lecture from him, which I can forward to you, Mataji, later. Okay. So you can also hear that lecture about astrology,
Yes,
because Maharaj is very, like we can say, authority in the Shastras. So one can, you can hear that. Okay. Maharaj has given around 40 minutes in Pune only gave a presentation. So one can see that. Yeah. So some aspects of this I can tell. Yeah. Okay. Yamuna Lasru, can you just make me co-host? Wanted to share my screen.
Yes, Prabhuji. Just a second. I have made you the co-host, Prabhuji.
Thank you. So, okay. So here, okay, some principles we have to understand. Mataji, before we get into this astrology, it will take some 10-15 minutes. So one thing is that people who have right understanding can be of two kinds, who may use the assets of Vedic system like astrology or Vastu Shastra. There are so many scientific things given in Vedas. Okay, so there may be both the kinds of people who have the right understanding, and some may use and some may not use. Okay, so both are right. And both, if they are doing with the right understanding, then both are correct and they can do. As such, the principle from Bhagavad Gita is there. I will show you one verse from Bhagavad Gita. Okay, that will be a little more clear. Okay, so this is 18th chapter. Okay, if you have the book, you can see. I'm going to show here the 5 factors of fulfillment of any work. Okay, how any work is to be accomplished, or what are the factors in accomplishing any work. Okay. Okay, how it starts.
Prabhuji, I did read that shloka, na? It is, I guess.
Oh, yeah. How it starts.
I don't even I also I think it's
Correct.
15. Let me look.
Karta.
Karta, Karana, Adhishthana, something like
Correct.
that.
Yes,
Right?
yes.
Yeah.
I just,
It's 18.14, Prabhuji. Adhishthanam
14,
tatha
14.
karta.
you got the verse number. Yeah, I'll
Yes, yes,
open
18.14.
Yeah, so there only actually it has been explained. So from there only we can understand what is about the Vedic system of astrology or Vastu Shastra. 18.14, right?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Okay. Yeah, here it is. Yeah, so once you can read Mataji, this very bigger. Adhishthanam tatha karta karnam cha prithak vidham vividascha prithak cheshta devam cha atra panchamam. Okay. Yeah, read them. Word to word also you can read, Mataji. Yeah, some terms are there we are going to use.
Okay, Prabhuji. Adhishthanam, the place, tatha, also, karta, the worker, karanam, instruments, cha, and prathak, vidham, of different kinds, vividha, various, cha, and prathak, separate, chetah, the endeavors, Daivam, the supreme, cha, also, eva, certainly, atra, here, panchamam, the fifth.
Okay. Read the translation.
The place of action, the body, the performer, the various senses, the many different kinds of endeavor, and ultimately the super soul. These are the 5 factors of action.
Yeah, read the purport also. Small only, I think. Yeah, this much only. Yeah. Just 1
Yes.
minute.
The word adhishthanam refers to the body. The soul within the body is acting to bring about the results of activity and is therefore known as karta, the doer. That the soul is the knower and the doer is stated in the Shruti, Esha hi drishta srishta. Prashna Upanishad 4.9. It is also confirmed in the Vedanta Sutra by the verses
Gyo
Yo at the Eva and I'll read the English part only. The instruments of action are the senses, and by the senses, the soul acts in various ways. For each and every action, there is a different endeavor. But all one's activities depend on the will of the super soul, who is seated within the heart as a friend. The Supreme Lord is the super cause. Under these circumstances, he who is acting in Krishna consciousness under the direction of the super soul situated within the heart is naturally not bound by any activity. Those in complete Krishna consciousness are not ultimately responsible for their actions. Everything is dependent on the supreme will, the super soul, the supreme personality of Godhead.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you, Mataji. Yeah, so few noteworthy points from this shloka. The 5 factors, basically this is describing about the fulfillment of any work. Okay, so any work has to be completed, then these 5 things are the objects of fulfillment. And what are they? So first, adhishthanam, the place. Tatha karta, second, the worker. Third, the worker is using what instrument? Okay, so many times Prabhupada would give example, or other places also, that if one is taking a big sword and trying to sew or taking a needle and trying to use it in the place of sword, then it won't work. Correct. So instrument is also very important. Okay, who is using that instrument is also important. Correct. And the place where, like, we have Dhritarashtra Uvacha, Dharmakshetre, Kurukshetre, Samveta, Yuitsava. So the place was very important, where it is Dharmakshetra, like that. Okay, instruments, that is third thing, of different kinds. Vivida. Okay, Cheshta, this is the fourth factor. The endeavor. What endeavor that person is doing with that instrument at that place. Okay, what endeavor he does with these three things. And then after he does the endeavor, whether the work will be fulfilled is ultimately by the Daivam aspect. Okay, that's the Supreme Lord. Okay, so here Prabhupada in his purport, he has clarified the terms. Okay, so first is Adhisthana refers to the body. Okay, so here this also translated as place. Okay, the place of action, the body, and other acharya also say about the place, like Dharmkshetra, Kurukshetra, all that is also there. Okay, so place of action, the body, the performer, okay, that the person himself, the various senses, basically the instruments or senses, one can say, that is karna. Okay, the many different kinds of endeavor, chesta, and ultimately the super soul. Even after doing these four things, everything perfect, still it may not be fulfilled. We have many times experience, because ultimately there is super soul, daiva, or another meaning also daiva is whether he has the required karma, he has the required piety to get it fulfilled. Okay, so that's explained here. Yeah, okay. So based on this concept only, so here we have actually two things. Out of five, for now, just keep aside the first three. Adhishthanam, Tatha Karta, Karanam. Okay. Let us consider those three are perfect. First three factors are perfect. We'll discuss the other two factors. Okay. The fourth factor was, yeah, Cheshta. Okay. And there is another factor, Daiva. Okay. So Daiva can have many meanings. One is his past karma, piety, and another meaning is the, okay, let's say here, destiny. Based on his karma, he will have some destiny. And then here is the super soul, that is another meaning Prabhupada has given. Okay. So see, so fulfillment of any work, let us just consider these two aspects. Other three, let's say it is perfect. Okay. So for fulfillment of any activity, the 100% of that activity has to be completed so that the result will come. Okay. Let's say that 100% of that whole endeavor plus this endeavor part. Okay, that as per the shloka is the endeavor part. And Daiva is whether he is destined by his previous past karma, like somebody wants to go to Swarga, whether he is doing the endeavor for going to Swarga, and whether he has done the, what this is like his sadhana for going to Swarga, and whether he has the piety to go to Swarga. Both matter. Okay. So if both combine together and make 100%, then result of going to Swarga will come. Okay. So let's understand with a very simpler example. Suppose we are trying to, okay, there is a wall and somebody is trying to push it. Okay, the wall is firmly established. If somebody is wanting to push it, his chesta may be very good, but the destiny is that the wall is firmly established and it won't move. So the work did not get fulfilled. Correct. So this work is 100% dependent on karma or destiny. We can understand in that sense. And it's not at all dependent on chesta. Correct. How much ever one puts endeavor, it's not going to get fulfilled. the wall is not going to move. But suppose we take another example, we have a small box, 20 kg, and somebody pushes it. Okay. So it will move to the extent the chesta is put. So chesta is a factor here. Correct. Huh? This principle should be understood first before we go to this. So where chesta is applicable, where chesta is not applicable. Here chesta is applicable, here chesta is not applicable. If we put how much ever endeavor, this work is not going to get fulfilled because the wall is firmly established. But if you have 20 kg box, as much endeavor we put, that much it is going to go ahead. If we don't put any endeavor, then it will not move ahead. Okay. So here we can say it's like any activity, okay, can have 20% chesta, then 80% it will be fulfilled by deva. For example, suppose some student is writing an exam of 100 marks. He studied for 20 marks, okay, and he writes the 20 marks, okay, and then he gets 20 marks in the final. Okay, that is just like simple. And deva was 0 for him. Okay, it was 0. He gets only 20 marks. But suppose in a case where he had 20% knowledge and he wrote 20 marks, he got the 20 marks, but he got extra 5 marks, grace marks. Why? Because one question was wrong. So in his destiny, 80%, okay, suppose 80% is there, which is going to give him 5 marks. That 5 marks will anyhow come to him, whether he writes that or not. He will get 25 marks. Okay. In the same way, there may be some work where there will be 100% chesta and destiny may be 0%. How much ever endeavor he does, that much only he will get result. There is nothing in his pious activity which will give extra. And there will be some things where 0% is chesta and 100% is his daiva. Okay. This, how much ever he will put endeavor, like pushing the wall. Okay, this is like pushing a box. He puts more endeavor, he will get more result. Okay, and there will be some activities where 100% of his like pushing the box itself. Whatever he does, the endeavor, that much result will come. Okay, and some activities are like fixed. How much ever endeavor you put, okay, beyond this 20% result you cannot get. A student, you must have seen many times, some students, they study how much ever, but they cannot pass or they cannot go above some certain marks or they cannot pass in some certain subject. Like in my college, there were students, they never passed one particular subject, like data signal processing, there was one subject. But many students or one student, he never passed only that subject, how much ever he studied, whatever books he studied. So we can understand that his part was only to get 20% of the marks in the exam, which is not above passing marks. 80% it was controlled by Deva for his exam. So he never got above 20% marks. How much ever he endeavored, because 80% he logged in his piety. Okay, by his karma, by his destiny, he is not supposed to get this 80% marks remaining. So how much ever you try, he will get only 20 marks in his exam. Whatever books he studied, whatever he may do some cheating also, but he will never pass because it's not there in his destiny to pass. The destiny is controlling 80% and he cannot do anything about this part. Okay. So this is first concept we have to understand. Okay. So after we have understood, and there can be cases like 0% maybe chesta and 100% maybe dependent on destiny. And like suppose the COVID was there, one of my friends, when he had written exam. So it was like he did not study anything, but still he passed in exam. How? Because COVID time, everybody was made to pass in exam. Okay. So that is like whether he endeavors or not, chesta is having no factor only there. Whether he studies or not, 100% destiny is there during COVID. He will pass surely. Okay, whether you studied or not. So everybody else also passed. So there can be some people like that, where endeavor is not put, but still the destiny is such that in his past life he has done something that such kind of things will come and he will be made to pass, force him to pass. He cannot stop that passing also. He cannot say the word, don't pass me. They are anyhow going to pass him. So this whole thing, first, this mathematics has to be understood. Okay. So now, after we understand that other three factors are perfect, they are perfect. They are like going to fulfill the work. Then these two only are remaining. Okay. Now the question will come. Okay. Okay. Two questions come. One is about astrology and second one. So generally two questions. So first question, which generally comes up in this is like, uh, as you told in your question, like we are not pure devotees. What Prabhupada says about pure devotional service in his purpose is not applicable to all of us because we are not pure devotees. So one thing I have explained already earlier, that anything which we have considered already is unfavorable for our Krishna consciousness, we have put it as anartha, and then Bhakti path will remove it as anartha nivritti. So that concept is clear, and Rupa Goswami himself has told in Anya Vilashita Shunyam, that verse, if we read, the main factor of that verse is Anukulyena Krishna Anushilanam, the Swarupa of that verse, or the primary factor of the shloka is this line, Anukulyena Krishna Anushilanam. Okay. So Swarup Lakshan it is called, the primary factor. So somebody is Anukulya, favorably doing service, and doing service according to the acharyas and the directions of Krishna Anushilanam, and continuously doing service, continuously, Vishwanath Chakravarti has explained, not every moment, but every day. Okay, like that explanations are there. So in that sense, we can understand that a sadhaka also falls into the definition of pure devotional service. We will discuss that in detail in Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu only. Okay, but as of now, just understand that a sadhaka is under the purview of pure devotional service if he fulfills that definition of Anukulyena Krishna Anushilanam. That is sufficient. Okay, because we saw Pradhani Bhut Bhakta also are called Bhakta because prominent is Bhakti. They may not be Gyan Karmadi Anavritam fully, but still they are called Bhakta. What to speak of Keval Bhakta? Surely he is having lot of more purity in his practice. So that has to be understood first. Okay. So if somebody is saying, oh, actually we are not practitioners of pure devotion, we are not practicing pure devotional service at all, that is not correct. Okay. Because the sadhan dasha, it is called the practitioner state, that is also under purview of pure devotional service. Okay. So that question, pure devotional service is also for sadhaka. That is not right philosophy. Second thing one may say, okay, yeah, here, are you pure devotee that you cannot take help of such Vedic things? Yeah, surely. Even Prabhupada took help of astrology actually. Prabhupada would not, he would wear the gemstone. And Prabhupada would also not like to travel on Thursdays because astrologer said. So Prabhupada also takes help of astrology. And when Prabhupada was asked, he explained that these all astrology, or we have Vastu Shastra, and all the Vedic sciences, they are all Vedic sciences and they are all bona fide. Okay. And one can use them in Krishna consciousness if they are anukul. Okay. If they are favorable for bhakti, one can surely use them. And Prabhupada used, and many of our current acharyas, as sometime you were saying only, that some of the devotees, they also use astrology. So that can be used. It's not forbidden. Okay. What is forbidden is to shift our faith from Krishna to astrology. Okay. One has more faith in astrology compared to Krishna. That is a problem. So that's why the devotees who may not be so advanced and who cannot handle these things carefully, for them, it is not advised to get into this zone, because one can easily think that, oh, astrology, when I went to astrologer, he told some solution, I applied it and it got fulfilled. So one can have faith in them. And then one may think, okay, then next any problem comes, then I can go to astrologer. And then one's dependence on astrologer becomes more compared to Krishna, even though this system is created by Krishna only. Okay, so one can have that thought in mind. So that has to be avoided. Basically, the astrology or any Vedic science should not cover up the Krishna consciousness. Jnana karma anavritam. It should not be covered, and one's focus should be on Krishna. That yeah, Krishna has created this system, and if this system is helping, it is Krishna only helping me indirectly. it is possible to have like that. Okay, but one should not go into the zone of going for every small thing. I approach astrologer, then one is showing that I am not having so much faith in Krishna, whatever Krishna actually controlling the life. So yeah, for sadhaka, Vishwanath Chadakar is explained in that same Anya Vilashita Shunyam and then Klesha Agni and all those sections, that a sadhaka's life is controlled by Krishna. Okay, so I can send the reference later. So the sadhaka's life is controlled by Krishna. That means in his life, whatever pain may come, or in his life, whatever happiness may come. Okay, they are both given by Krishna. Whose life? Not pure devotee. I am saying the sadhaka. Okay, even just a neophyte who has just started his bhakti yesterday. Okay, if he has taken up to Krishna consciousness with sincerity and he is following the instructions of the whoever is guiding him, that sadhaka who has faith in Krishna, that these books like Bhagavad Gita, Srimad Bhagavatam are good. Whatever the principles they give, they are good. Shastrat Shraddha. And second thing, that Lord Vishnu or Krishna is the Supreme Lord. If he has that faith, then his life is not controlled by the three modes. Okay, not three modes, I should say. Not controlled by his karma, whatever pious or impious activity he did in past. Okay, three modes he will be influenced, but not controlled by pious or impious activity. All that is now taken care by Krishna in giving him happiness or pain so that he can appropriately advance in bhakti. That much only. There can be appropriate advancement in bhakti. Krishna will give it suitably. Okay, whatever is there. So that is one part. Okay, and then second question may come that devotees may generally ask, okay, yeah, yeah, there is one more thing in first question that one may say that, okay, if you are not pure devotee, then at least you can use astrology. Yeah, one can surely use, but with this consciousness, as I told, not covering Krishna consciousness. But at the same time, somebody will say, because you are not pure devotee, you should use this astrology. Then one should also understand from his own intelligence that if I use astrology and if it covers my Krishna consciousness, then surely I will become mixed devotee. At least I'm trying now to become pure devotee. So I don't want to surely become mixed devotee. So in that sense, one can also understand that with caution it can be used. And second thing, some people say that actually it is just like going to any doctor. You can go. So it's not so simple. It's not just like going to doctor, because doctor, what he does, he controls the part which is chesta. Whereas astrology, this not is about the zone of chesta, it is about the daiva, it is about the karma part. Okay, because astrology is actually, if you know the details, it is controlled, the planets are controlled in a certain way by the demigods, and then demigods are called karma sachiva, who are awarder of the karma for different living entities based on the charts. So all that is there. So that astrology controls the range of deva, these parts. Okay, whereas the going to doctor is not controlling our karma. That's going to control our chesta, what endeavor we are doing, that results are going to come. So going to doctor is like doing our endeavor. But going to astrologer, then we are trying to change our destiny, in the sense that we are trying to have a result which is not destined for us by doing some manipulation. Okay, which is not wrong. I'm telling again, it's not wrong, but one should not have his faith shifted to Krishna, to astrology compared to Krishna, or even Vastu. So one should not think that, yeah, if I have not constructed my home like this, then I cannot do my practice of Krishna consciousness at all. So that is not the right understanding. Krishna consciousness is independent, but at the same time, we should try our best to construct a temple or a home, okay, so that it can be uh, conducive for Krishna consciousness. We are also controlled by material laws, being in metal body. So yeah, so in crux we can say that astrology can be used by devotees, but Prabhupada also, as we understand, that he used to not travel on Thursday, but there is some important preaching engagement. Prabhupada would actually travel on Thursday because he considered Krishna consciousness more important. Okay, so that example is also there. And another thing is this should not be like for small things we go for astrology, but it should be like yeah, Prabhupada also recommended that something very important decisions in one life, like uh, yeah, in marriage ceremony they may match the charts of the girl and the boy, which makes it very conducive for them to live a life which is matching swabhava is there, then one can live Krishna, one can have Krishna consciousness better in practice compared to mismatch of swabhava, and then so much time goes in making agreements among them. So Prabhupada recommended, yeah, there are some certain situations which are some important things in life, some important which can change one's course of life, and then he can better practice Krishna consciousness. Then one can take such measures in astrology. Okay, so a few examples are like, yeah, yeah, at the time of child's birth, naming ceremony, or even marriage, like that. So these all things astrology can be used, but it should not be for very small thing. Okay. So this is overall we should understand in that sense that it's neither bad, it's not very good to go very frequently. Okay. Is it okay, Mataji?
Yes, Prabhuji. Just one more question
Yeah.
came up. Like you said, Daiva part cannot be controlled. We have no control over the Daiva part. Whatever is there in our destiny, we will surely get it.
That is not
Then
yet.
yeah, so whatever actually is happening in our life, suppose if I take my example only, whatever is happening, it is result of my own action or past previous actions, which is given by destiny. So what difference would it make by doing some astrological remedies? Because it will not going to change the destiny or astrology. I mean, I don't know.
No,
How
no.
should I take it?
As I said, sadhaka's life is not under the realm of karma. So that karma is taken away by Krishna, and it is given by Krishna. The suffering or pain, sorry, pain or happiness, whatever, suffering or happiness, that's given by Krishna in our life. If one is practitioner of devotional service, okay, so that Krishna is giving now. Whatever daiva is coming in your life is coming through Krishna. It's not coming through your past good or bad activities.
Then, Prabhuji, there is no point of referring to astrology at all, because whatever Krishna is awarding is best for us, whether it is purificatory, I mean, painful purificatory process, or whether it is some happiness coming. We
Yeah,
should consider them
correct.
from.
Yeah, that is also true. But that is like, if one is very sincere and he is not affected by the difficulties one is getting in his life, like we can say
Mhm.
examples of Parikshit Maharaj, like very advanced devotees, or we have current acharyas also, like Japataka Swami Maharaj and so many others. They have very great difficulties, but their Krishna consciousness is not compromised. Like for normal sadhakas, if we are not advanced, if we are hungry or if we are sick, we cannot concentrate our mind nicely on Krishna consciousness. So then Krishna has only given some methods, like you may say Vastu or astrology, by which one can consult and one can try to reduce the aggravated situation. Okay. But at the same time, not depend on them. He approaches astrologer or whatever tries to rectify the Vastu of the home. But he does not depend on those solutions only. He depends on Krishna for giving him the suffering or happiness. Okay. So he understands these solutions are also given by Krishna in the Vedic scriptures. Yeah, he doesn't reject them because it's conducive for one's practice of Krishna consciousness. That's it. Anukulena sankalpa. Because it's conducive, one will take it. But he knows I have faith in Krishna because this is indirectly given by Krishna, first thing. Second thing, if this does not work, the astrologies which I go, if it doesn't work, then I'm sure that Krishna is wanting me to go through this. Yeah, that's it.
Okay, Prabhuji. Thank you so much, Prabhuji. Prabhuji, just please share
Yeah.
that lecture by His Holiness Bhanu Swami Maharaj. Na?
Yes, surely. Okay. Yeah, anybody else has any question on this topic? Okay, then we'll pause here. Continue next weekend. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna. Shri Prabhupada ki jai. Srimad Bhagavad Gita ki jai.